Taxi! Get him now, before the police come.
T-minus 5, 4,
Hey, come here.
3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff.
Vinegar tip.
The white zone is for immediate loading.
La zona blanca es...
This afternoon. Fabulous.
I'm Danny Bonaducci, and you are watching Govs Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527.
goes behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Day Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warms up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Happy Monday to you all. Good to see you guys. Hope you all had a great weekend. Welcome to the Knockem Day Comedy Show right here on Gov's Comedy Club podcast, coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club. I got to tell you, being able to do podcasts here, I get to work with a lot of great people, a lot of great comedians. And these two guys that are joining us today are just two of the best. And I absolutely love hanging out with them and working with them. Mark Riccadonna is here.
Hey.
There he is. I hope, please tell me in the comments that you can hear him. Please let me know if you can hear him because I want to make sure I'm doing this right. And then sitting right here, I don't know. Well, Richie Byrne is due here. Hopefully he'll be here any second. Richie Byrne and Mark Riccadonna.
I need a bigger seat.
You know, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can see this right here.
That thing's like the Cadillac of lounge chairs, man.
Oh, this was Rodea. When Rodea had his podcast here, that was on his rider. No green M&Ms, and I must have a gaming chair. So, yeah.
Nice.
So, but I got one in the deal, so I'm not complaining. But this, I don't know if you can see
That's
this.
A good deal.
This armrest right here is broken. Like there's no armrest. In fact, it's sitting. Yeah, here it is, right here on the floor. Here it is. I fixed.
What happened?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember how it broke originally, but it's weird. These gaming chairs, you can't just screw it back on. You got to take apart the whole contraption and piece it all together. And I did that. And I actually did it. I put it all together, and it was fixed. Guess who broke it?
Richie Byrne.
Richie Byrne. And I have not.
Get some duct tape. Get some duct tape and silly putty. You'll have it fixed in no time.
That's a good idea. We'll call it White Trash Comedy Show. Andy Bujanos is commenting. He says, Mark, thanks again for the guest spot. When last you were on the island, I got to meet Jim and have since checked out his Church of Satire. Yeah, Andy actually did go down there and check this place out and loved it.
Fantastic. It's such a fun club.
Is it? Yeah?
Yeah.
And what's the deal?
Really.
He's got, an ice cream place in it or downstairs or some shit, right?
Yeah, it's connected to it. And it's the scoops of satire, so you can get ice cream and comedy.
It doesn't get much better than that.
Dude, since I slowed down on drinking, that's what I'm talking about. A milkshake.
See, I think at this point we just need maybe a TV in between sets for the show baseball, and we just need some topless women, and that's like that place would be called heaven.
Now you're just getting crazy.
So you slowed down on the drinking?
I mean, yeah, I like there wasn't a problem. There's not a story behind it.
Oh, okay.
I
didn't know if we were going to cry.
Just getting older, and I got a fatty liver and a fatty belly, and I decided maybe I should slow down. I did partake in the not even medical marijuana, the recreational. I get the seltzers, and the seltzers are the greatest things on the planet. They're THC and CBD.
Oh, wow.
They're only 5 milligrams. I'm a lightweight. I'm not one of these guys who like the, melt into their chair. I
Right.
drink one seltzer, I watch a movie, and I pet my dog while I watch the movie, and I have the greatest night of my life.
Well, yeah. I think the key thing right there, you said getting older. Like if that's like a good night for older guys like us now.
Dude, I was at the Borgata all week this week.
Nice.
I came home every night instead of staying there. I would come home and I would play with my dog. Everybody's asleep. I would watch a movie and I would have a couple seltzers, and I was happy as could be. You know, our lives, all we do is run. I associate drinking and going out and partying with work, you know, and it's like I love what I do for a living, but it's also what I do for a living. I have to be able to detach, walk away, take the VR goggles off, you know, of comedy and put it aside and go, okay. And that's my kids. My youngest is into football. He's playing football.
Nice.
And Sundays I've been going to their games, and he went from being like not knowing if he was on offense or defense to like he had a bunch of tackles for losses this week.
Sweet.
And he's like, he gets all pumped up, and you see him. He's not afraid to hit anybody. The coach even tells him, he's like, he lines him up and just goes like, when the ball moves, just hit whoever's across from you. And he just licks people, man.
Nice.
And he goes after he was, when he first started, this is hysterical. This is the same kid who was the one who did the thing on the bus I told you about.
Oh, yeah.
Forged a letter. Same kid.
Love that story.
So this kid is like a wild child, you know? And he when he first started, he didn't know if he was on offense or defense. It was like the second practice. He was on the offensive line. They snapped the ball. He turned around. He saw a guy with the ball, knocked him down. And it was like, you're on offense.
I'm thinking of Forrest Gump right now. They just point and tell him which way to run with the ball.
But, like, he's not afraid. So, like, he was going after, like, he would pick off on offense. He would, like, knock the tackle out. Just knock them. We call them roaches because you knock them on their back and they look like a roach. And then he would just run to the next kid and hit them.
Holy crap!
But he would go after these kids that were safeties that were like a foot and a half smaller than him. And he would chase them, and they would run away from him, and he'd run down the field into the other end zone and just go after him. And so we started telling him, we're like, dude, don't. That's not impressive. Hitting a little kid's not impressive. You have to go for the big guys.
Right.
You have to go for the biggest kid on the team. And there's some kids because they're 7 and 8. So like there's some 8-year-olds that hit a growing spurt, and they're like,
sure.
Like my son's tall and thin, but like there's some kids that look like they're junior high kids, you know, and they're not in their bodies yet.
Right.
You know,
right.
So it's not like they're these. Like he'll go after these kids that are like they look like 6th graders, and he's a first grader. He just runs over and he knocks these kids on their ass, and I'm just like, and he's not a dick. It's not like he's doing it to be a dick.
Right, that's his job. Right.
Yeah, he helps the kid up after the play, and no matter what happens, he always tells whoever, good job. Good job.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
He said, when the ball snapped, he's your enemy and you hit him. But as soon as the whistle blows, he's a friend, and you help him up. And you know, he has really good sportsmanship, but he can't wait to lick people.
it's the father that's looking on the stands. You knock that kid on his ass, yeah, little pussy.
What's funny is there's a lot of those dads on the team. There's a couple kids on this team. They're like, not only are they undefeated, they're not just undefeated. They have a mercy rule.
Yeah.
If you have 5 touchdowns, you're not allowed to score again, or you get fined.
Oh wow.
And it's like by halftime, like when the ball snapped, we're like, whatever you do, you run down the field and just take a knee. Don't score a touchdown.
Right.
Like they're telling the kids, there's a couple kids on this team that have like the brains of an adult. Like they're little kids, but they move like and the way they think is like us, like playing a video game or something. It's like, how does that kid know to do a spin move? Like, they're 7 years old. This kid's like, they have like a couple kids on their team that are just like, holy crap, these are like adults and little kid bodies.
Wow.
I'm going to the games. I'm the opposite of most of the dads there. Most of the dads there, I think, didn't play, and now they're living their dream through their kids.
Right.
I played, and I was good. I was all Northern Ohio as a football player. I did my time as an athlete. I've hit peaks of my physical ability.
Right.
I'm done now. Like I don't go to the gym and try to lift weights and see how much I get. I did that shit when I was 17.
Right. Yeah.
I don't do that no more. I go to the game and I'm just like, have fun.
Right.
Have fun. And there's dads, and especially we play these other schools. There's these dads that are just screaming like, kill them, knock them out. And I'm just sitting there like, they're 7. Who cares?
I have issues with that.
This from the winning sideline, but
yeah, true. But
my kid's not getting his ass kicked, so I guess I have a different opinion.
Right. When they start losing, then it'll be different. But in all seriousness, it is nice to see the kids being good sports and helping each other out.
Yeah.
That goes a lot further.
I think that's like life.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean.
Right. Dude, I was at the Borgata this week, and the 2 comics I was working with, they're great comics. And I want them to do well, but I also want to be the best one on the show. But I want to go out like a tiger and,
But that's like a friendly competition thing.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
I'm rooting for them while they're on stage. But I know when I go on stage, I'm taking no prisoners. I'm going for it.
Right. Of course, but I mean, there are plenty of comedians. I'm sure you've seen it. I've seen it here. There are some that say that either they don't want somebody funnier than them, before they're up, and there are plenty of them that say that this isn't a team sport. And I disagree with it. I completely. You should have a good show. Everybody everybody on the bill should have a good set.
When I see somebody that sucks, like somebody who's really a bad comic,
yeah.
That depresses me because they're hurting everybody else in comedy.
That's how I see it, right? Well, and not just that night at the show, just in general.
In general,
yeah.
And when I go to a show, and like I'll get beat out, for a booking, whatever. I'm gonna make this up, but like when I used to come and hang out at Governors all the time when I lived in the city.
Yeah.
A guy like Adam Ferrara or Joey Cola would go, and you'd realize, like, oh, that's why I'm not getting booked. They have them. They're available.
Right.
And, like, it would be like, the lineup would be like Truson would MC, and then you'd see, like, Joe Starr, Adam Ferrara, and Joey Cola on one bill. And so then you realize, like, well, yeah, there's a reason I didn't get booked.
Right. I mean,
and then you watch the show, and instead of getting pissed off by it, I would be inspired by it, that it's like everybody who came to the show is going to come to another comedy show.
Right.
Because they just saw a great show. Now I can't let them down if I'm on the bill. I got to get better.
Right.
So I would watch a show like that, and instead of like going home and being depressed because I didn't work or because those guys are so funny and I'll never get as funny as them, I'd go home and write my ass off. Like, I got to catch up. I
exactly.
Try to get better.
Right. And it's such a cool feeling. I enjoy. There's a guy here. I don't know if you've seen him or met him or anything, but he's here at the club. He's one of the regulars now. He's in the studio often. Fat Jay is his name.
Never heard of him. No.
Oh. He he kind of got into it 6 or 7 years ago, and I remember he was playing. The little bars and and competing with the TVs. And now he's here, in one of the Governor's comedy clubs almost every weekend. He was just down in Florida doing some shows. He was in Pennsylvania just a couple of weeks ago. I think maybe even with Richie, I think. And
he was with Richie, and not only was he in Pennsylvania,
yeah.
he was, no lie, the venue they played was a 15-minute walk from my house.
Oh wow. But I'm assuming you were probably somewhere else working though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to come down to surprise him. Because, dude, it's like literally I could walk there. I wouldn't because I'm lazy, but I could. I could walk there.
Yeah.
And I drive by that if I went to the gym. I don't drive to the gym, but I passed the where they played. It's not a DFW or a auxiliary, and they have a giant tank in the front yard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a beautiful venue too.
Wow.
But
it's
I was all excited that he's working, man. He's doing really well.
He really is, and he's hilarious, and he's a great guy. And to our point, it's a nice feeling to see, like, this guy that's been. He feels like a teammate almost in that sense,
Yeah.
and you're happy for him to see him moving up. I don't subscribe to the this. I'm by myself. I don't. This isn't a team
There's
sport.
enough stages for everybody.
Right.
My theory is what's good for comedy, I'm all for.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody's doing well, I'm excited for them. I don't want Jay and Richie to go to that place by my house and bomb.
Right.
Because I want that place to keep having shows.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
It helps feed people to know about comedy. And then when people find out I'm a comic, they go, there's a comedy show right up the street. Yeah, my friends play there. I was there.
Right.
I'm going to be there on this date.
Yeah. Excellent point.
Positive vibes do nothing but help.
Yep. I agree 100%.
Negative vibe, if you shit on comics or you shit on a venue, you shit on whatever, because you're jealous, because that's what it comes down to, insecurity and jealousy.
Yep.
There's no reason. There's why I don't bitch about musicians? I have no insecurity about it. I don't know how to play music. I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to do any of it. So anytime I see music, I want it to be really good.
Yeah.
Because I want to enjoy it. I feel the same way about comedy, even though that's what I do for a living.
That's a perfect analogy there. Yeah, absolutely right.
I want success for everybody, because good comedy, when everybody looks at comedy as a good thing, there's more work for us.
Right.
So if you have to be selfish, there's a perfect reason. The other thing is, it's so much easier to be positive.
Yes.
It's so much easier.
Yep. Oh yeah. We were talking about it.
To write positive, which is why I do that. I try to write clean, and I try to always put a positive spin on things. It's harder to do. It's easy to shit on people.
Right.
It's harder to, how do I spin this and make this positive? It's a way harder to do. It's easier to just swear and, screw this and,
right,
be negative on stuff. It's harder to write a positive joke or a cleaner joke, which is why I do it. I write that direction because I want people to look at my act and go, wow, he thought about that. It's not an accident.
That's interesting. And I actually want to stay on that for a second. But before I do, because I don't want to forget, speaking of great comedy, Mark Riccadonna, Domestic Nomad, coming to Dry Bar. So when is that dropping?
This Wednesday.
This 2 days from now?
Yeah.
Very nice.
So if anybody who is interested in Dry Bar, go and use the promo code Mark Riccadonna. It helps me, and it also gives you a discount.
Nice.
And there's it's something crazy. They have billions of views on all their specials. If you subscribe to their app or their website, the Dry Bar Plus or whatever,
right? They
have literally hundreds of specials that you can watch.
Oh yeah.
And their thing is it's Dry Bar because they film it in Provo, Utah, so they don't have alcohol at the club. But I mean, they're not. And we had them on the podcast. They're not Amish. Amish people are cool too, though. So right. that's even kind of hard to say. But it's like, it's funny. It's just not, we're not dicks on it. Like the guys I recorded the same days I recorded, nobody was corny. It was all just like, we're just not being dicks, and we're not saying, 4-letter words that, whatever.
Right. Which is right, like you said a minute ago. It's smart. It's harder to write, good material that's not that doesn't involve all the cursing and all the sex or whatever.
And I'm not a prude. I love dirty comedy.
Oh yeah, man.
I love if it's well done. I love it.
Sure.
I'm not a prude at all about it, and I'm not there's a lot of snobs that work clean and then they act snobby. I didn't even know I worked clean. And I was being managed by a guy, and he kept booking me on these shows about clean comedy. And I was like, why do you keep booking me on these shows? And he goes, Mark, if you don't say shit or fuck, you're clean.
Right.
Like, your act is clean. You don't talk about anything. And I've never thought of it that way, but I've always written my material thinking, like, would I invite my parents or my grandparents to come and see this comedy show? And not that it's like I'm not staying away from a subject. It's just maybe I don't want to be gross about it. I mean, I talk about shit in my pants in 2 different stories. I just don't make it graphic, and I don't gross you out with it. But we've all had the embarrassing moments. We can all relate to the moment of like, so I do think, and a lot of comics will disagree, like, don't tell me how to do my art.
Yeah.
Cool, but the guy writing the check can.
Right. I mean, exactly. I've had those conversations. Hey, if you're cool with not, with basically splitting your bookings in half because you're not going to get a lot of bookings, then knock yourself out. If that's what you want to be, that's your business, and I'm happy for you if you're accomplishing whatever it is you're setting out to do. But yeah, I'd like to get the occasional church gig or the corporate event that wants a clean comic. And same thing. I think I was up.
My schedule is really awesome theaters.
Yeah.
Playing beautiful theaters. I'm playing corporate gigs. I'm playing like Disney Cruise Lines.
Nice.
If you see the checks that you get from those gigs, and you see the checks you get from playing barroom basements.
Right, exactly.
I want those checks.
Yep.
I have 2 kids, so I'm trying to make a living doing this. And, there's always the argument, well, one about, this comic or this comic. And it's like, yeah, you're pointing out, of course, Jim Norton's filthy, and he found his niche, and he did. But do you know how many Jim Nortons there are that didn't?
Right.
That aren't making money?
Exactly.
Like, Jim Norton's, I don't want to say he's lucky because he's insanely talented and he's great. But he has a great career. I can tell you 15 guys that have the same sense of humor as him that are begging for work.
That's it, exactly.
So it's like, find your opening and go for it.
Right.
And if it's like, hey, I do dirty comedy and I'm making money, good. I'm not.
Right.
Like, I'm not getting that work. So.
And then what about topical? Like I've seen some. In fact, I've seen some real tasteless. I don't want to say tasteless, but just people that are already coming out with the Matthew Perry jokes. And I know, comedian Kevin Brennan. I just read an article this morning. He's catching heat because he tweeted something a little distasteful about it. And I'm not big with topical because if you watch a video, 2 years later. And somebody makes a reference or makes a joke, you'd be like, you don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I wrote speaking of Kevin Brennan, I wrote with Kevin Brennan. We both wrote for Weekend Update.
Right, yes.
With another guy, Stan Stankos. We all, and Nicole Corcolis, we were like a team that wrote for Weekend Update. And that's all you do is write topical stuff.
Well, that's different, though. Yeah.
No. And so I did that for a long time. And I realized I don't really like doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I like Weekend Update and stuff, but I don't like writing that style of comedy because it's gone.
Right. That's my point. Right.
And like I was trying to put some of the stuff that didn't make it on Twitter, and it was like it didn't age well because then more stuff would come out, and then the joke didn't work anymore.
Right.
Then somebody would say something like, "Well, I guess you didn't know," and it was like, "Yeah, I tweeted that 2 weeks ago."
Right.
Like when we didn't have all the information. Like, and I just got sick of it, you know. And then I would try to do it on stage, and it was like half the time you would say something, and then people would be like, "I don't even know what that is or whatever." So the other thing is like writing just rude shit. It's so weird to me that you would just like that's what you want to put your energy into.
Yeah, that's never been my style either.
Matthew Perry's book. I read his book,
yeah.
And I'll be completely honest with you and the viewers. I've never watched Friends. I've never watched one episode.
Yeah, you've told us that before.
I've never seen past one commercial break. I think every single time the music started, and I dated this girl who had friends parties. As soon as the music started, I was like, "See you guys in about an hour. I'm gonna go drink with my friends." I'm not.
You have that great story where you dated that girl. She's having one of those parties, and you were the only guy with all these hot girls, and you still left.
Still couldn't do it. Still couldn't do it. They even tried to bribe me by saying Tom Selleck was in an episode, and I was like, "Yeah, I can't do it. I can't." I saw when they come out, and like this is how they act. Everything is like, just say a sentence, say anything.
Hey, you going to the club tonight, there, Mark? That's kind of true.
I couldn't do it. I'm like, I can't. I'm out.
That was funny.
And so, like, I don't know anything about Matthew Perry. I saw a couple of his movies. Like, he did that movie with Bruce Willis I thought was funny.
The Whole 9 Yards, yeah.
Yeah, and so his book came out, and I read, about a book and a half a week.
Wow.
I'm a very avid audiobook, and I read at the same time. So, like, I'm reading a book and I'm listening to a book, not at the same time, but during the same period.
I thought you meant like you're reading a book and listening to the audio of the same book. That's not what you're telling me?
No. Like, when I'm in my car or if I go for a walk, I'm on my audiobook, which right now I'm listening to The Tender Bar.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But then I'm physically reading The Light You Give by Michelle Obama.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, like,
wow, I'm impressed.
I'm an avid information junkie. I love reading. I actually lately have preferred it over TV.
Wow.
Because I feel like because of TikTok, Instagram, all this information that they only give you snippets in 1 minute things.
Yep. 1 minute, usually 30 seconds.
We can't process information anymore.
Right.
People are getting dumber and dumber. And so I'm trying to like pull the ropes. We got to slow down.
Absolutely right.
I'm trying to teach my kids reading, learn how to process information, learn how to be able to follow something, whether it's over a week, over a month, however long it takes you to finish the book. And you need to be able to retain it so you know what's happening. Where it's like now it's like, oh, just swipe it. I'm tired of that story. And we're getting dumber. And so...
Yeah. And everybody wants to be the first one to post about something, too.
Yeah.
Without all the information.
I read Matthew Perry's book.
Right.
And he said some really dickish stuff.
Oh, wow.
Like, there was a couple things in there. Like, he made a joke. Like, he's obviously out of touch. He was out of touch. And he made a joke. And it was like, River Phoenix lives... But Keanu Reeves still walks the earth. God's not fair. And he was trying to make a Keanu Reeves joke, but it's like nobody feels that way about Keanu Reeves.
Right.
Like everybody actually likes him a lot.
Right. He has this reputation of being a nice guy.
20 years ago, people made fun of Keanu Reeves because of the whoa. You know, every movie he has to say, whoa. And it's like he's so out of touch with reality that he was trying to, like, make a joke. It's like trying to pile on Dane Cook now. Like, people would be like, all right, relax. That was 20 years ago.
Exactly.
You know, it's like,
Right.
there's new people we're making fun of now.
Yeah.
But, like, he made a dickish joke and he had a backlash. There was a couple things like that where it was like, so I see where, like, when he died, there were people that were like, you know what? I'll give a jab back, but it's like, you're jabbing at a dead guy.
At a dead guy, right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'd rather put my energy into other things. I think that sums it right up.
Sorry I made a 10-minute story out of easily I could have just said, I shouldn't make fun of a dead guy.
Finally, finished that. What was your...
We're just burning time waiting for Richie, right?
Freaking Richie. Yeah, I mean, he said he was going to be, I think he said a little late, but this is kind of a lot of late.
Show up tonight and be like, I thought you meant 11 at night. Bro.
I don't know if you heard, but that actually happened when we were filming Don's movie. You remember the scene towards the end where they're actually doing the show in the club, and so we put it out there that we were looking for people to come, be audience members.
Extra, yeah.
Yeah, so we put it out there, come and we'll, the comedians will tell you some jokes, during the, they'll do their set in between takes and stuff. You get drinks, we'll treat it semi like a real show. And it was a Sunday, and I posted that, we'll be there Sunday at 7:30. Come on down. And I had Sunday that morning. I wake up. I'm getting a text from this girl I know. I don't know if she's watching. She does watch regularly, Vicky. But she texts me. She goes, "I'm at Governor's. Where is everybody?" I go, "Vicky, it's 7:30 at night."
Come back in 11 hours.
Right. And but I didn't put down PM. I just wrote come at 7:30 on Sunday. 7:30. And I'm still and Don even sided with her. He's like, "Yeah, you didn't put down PM." I was like, "You motherfuckers." So and that too. I'm gonna ask Richie if him and Don actually met a few weeks ago. Can you see you can see the pictures I'm posting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there they are.
Look at them too.
Yeah.
That's my big brother.
That's right. That's right.
I love Don. I haven't seen him in person in a long time.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I feel like it's been forever.
He the greatest guy, and he's like you, a very busy guy. You guys are nonstop, but but his son, he goes by Donnie Sill, has been featured on Richie just texted me, said, "Yo, I'm here." All right, great. Well, then come on in.
Come on in, Richie. The chair's warm.
I don't know if the door's locked. I don't know if that's why he's telling me that.
You want me to tell a story and you can get check the door?
Well, let me ask him if he needs to be let in. Is the door locked? You know what? And it's raining too. He's probably. You know what? Yeah. Tell. I don't know if he's standing out there in the rain, but yeah. Go ahead. You want to tell a story while I go check on Richie? Once upon a time. All right, I'll be right back.
So for anybody out there, so Domestic Nomad is the special that I recorded for this, and flying out to Provo, I was coming from Texas. I had a corporate gig in Plano, Texas, and then I was flying to Provo, Utah to record the special. My flight got canceled. It got delayed and then canceled. I slept overnight in the airport. So I slept in the airport and had to fly directly to Salt Lake City. I jumped in a cab and they drove me straight to the theater, where I then had to take off the clothes that I slept in the airport in and had to put on my show clothes. So I went on zero sleep and did the special.
What the
boys?
What, the dry bar special you did on no sleep?
Yep, my flight got canceled, and I had to take the first flight out And this is actually crazy. This is nuts. So my flight's canceled. Everybody's switching their flights, right? I have a flight where there's zero chance I'm going to make it. I'll miss the taping. Like I'll land when they start filming. So then what happened was they put me on standby for the morning flight. So while I was on standby, somebody overheard me telling the ticket lady that I was going out to film a comedy special. And I wasn't yelling at her. I was saying, like, this is my luck, filming a comedy special, and the flight got canceled and this and that. And I'm texting with the people at Dry Bar. I'm probably not going to make it. I'm on standby, but the flights are filled because of 2 canceled flights. Somebody gave their seat up for me.
Wow.
But they didn't say who it was. They didn't want any credit. They didn't want any special treatment, but they gave up their seat for me.
Oh, my God. Wow.
So I made the taping just in time.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
You think if you're late, you may as well just take another 2 minutes to get your own water.
You think, well, first of all, we'll talk about that. First of all, you think you would have told me this story already. Like, I can't believe I walked in the middle of this story. That'd be like the first thing I'd tell you, how the Dry Bar. You never said, we've been on the air with this. How'd it go? Good. That's what you said. So, on our fucking show, you do nothing. But on this show, you tell a great story. That's great, Mark.
Yeah. Well, Richie, I don't want to say anything, but that's because you don't let me talk.
We were actually
like
talking.
Ventriloquist that.
Look at you in your jumpsuit. Have you been exercising?
I'm going to the gym after this. The gym is right here.
I feel like with your glasses, when you first came in, they were tinted. And you had the jumpsuit on.
Yeah.
I feel like you came in like you were like the old guy in the mafia that doesn't really get involved anymore.
Let me have a nice espresso.
Yeah. Like you're the Greg Vaccarello.
Lo Zambuca, yeah, Greg Vaccarello. So I knock on the door because the door is locked.
Oh, I didn't hear you knocking.
And
I didn't hear it.
And then I send him a text. Hey, I'm here. And he writes, outside? Well, where the fuck would I be, Tony?
He thought you were in the kitchen.
Hey, what does that mean? Hey, I'm here. No, I'm hanging out.
Well, I said that to Mark. I go, he's texting me saying he's here. All right, well, then come in.
I'm cleaning up with Nut. Nut and I are cleaning up. I'll be Shout out to Nut.
His kids work here now.
I know. His daughter's beautiful.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Fucking love it.
And speaking of beautiful.
What is this?
Speaking of beautiful.
What are you doing to me, Tony? What is this?
Well, you should know that's you. You know what that is.
Where though? Why do I look so bad? Oh,
this is.
No, I hate. I'm very unhappy with the.
So we're not talking about this?
No, we can talk.
I didn't know if you were serious or not.
No, I'm not. I took 8,000 pictures. Jen sent me like 5 and went, yeah, we're using 3 of these. And I'm like, they all suck, Jen. That look terrible.
Well, this one's cool. Whoops. Whoa. You and...
Yeah.
Well, all right. They can't see what I'm doing there. It looks fine, which is what counts. Okay. So, yeah, you and Don looking dapper.
Yeah,
Dapper.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're...
So, yeah, what is this? This is
a calendar for, I'm embarrassed to say I forgot I don't know the charity.
It's what, like Men of Long Island Comedy?
Long Island Comics. And I'm January.
Richie Byrne is a centerfold.
Keegan is February, which is so funny.
Those pictures I saw, and they are pretty funny.
Tell me Keegan's in a big diaper with a bow and arrow.
No. Because I said, when she told me I was going to be January, I said, well, you put me in a diaper and I look just like Baby New Year. And she wrote back and went, well, we would think it's something more classy. I go, I was joking. Do you really think I'm going to put a diaper on?
Richie, I would love to see you in a diaper. I think that would be hysterical. You could be Baby New Year. He's Baby Valentine. We just figure out how to get all the Long Island comics in diapers.
Well,
let's.
some of us are old enough. We'll wait another 2 or 3 years, and we'll all be in them.
I was just about to say that Les Deegan's in this calendar, so he might be wearing one already.
True.
He's wearing one underneath his outfit.
Oh.
So we've been pushing Mark's special that's coming out this Wednesday.
Wow.
And I was going to ask, where Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling has been, but we know Mark's been cheating on us with this 624 podcast.
Oh, I don't even know about the 624 podcast. I just know that our producer just disappeared. He said he went to jury duty, and I think he meant the witness protection.
No, I did. I was there.
I got jury duty. Next thing we know, he's walking on Abbey Road with the fucking Beatles. He's
well, that was the thing.
drinking champagne in the southern regions of France.
Boy, I wish. But that was the thing. I had this vacation. Well, it wasn't even a vacation. I was there. What is going on?
I don't know. I want to lay back. I'm so tired.
Did you want to take a nap? Are you all right?
I would kill for that.
For what?
Headsets, but no. Go ahead.
You want a headset?
No, this is good. I'll just do this.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go. Here we go. All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. Welcome to, what is the name of this show?
I don't even know. I think it's
Tony Walker Live.
Exhausts Richie.
What?
Doing radio exhausts.
I'm exhausted.
You're like,
I actually came in on fire, right? I came in on fire, had a couple of good lines, and now I need a nap.
Richie, are you ever going to send me a bio?
Mark, I can't. I will. I gotta find. I've just been so busy this week. I'm sorry. It'll be today. I promise. Sometime today.
Go to Richie Byrne. What is it? RichieByrneComedy.com? RichieByrne.com? There's a
yeah.
bio there. Just take it.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do I have to do anything?
No. Because here's what happens when you go to build a promo for somebody. They go, just grab anything online, and then you do it.
Right.
And then all they do is bitch.
But here's the other thing.
Why did you get that one?
You could have
That's
grabbed
not the
it.
one I don't like those headshots.
Or you could have grabbed it and sent it to me like you did everything else, and I would have went, oh, that's fine. Or, oh, wait a minute, I'll get you one. But no, it's okay. I'll take care of it.
Or you're the comic. You could just send it to me. There's also that option.
Have you met me, Mark? Have you met me?
Do you know your passwords to any of your social media?
No.
Your Facebook is so active, but you're the only one not posting there.
I do have Facebook.
Yeah,
I know my password.
You do?
I think so. Hold
because I looked this morning.
Give it to us on air.
Why?
Like Rich Voss did.
Why?
On Opie and Anthony. Do you remember that episode of Opie and Anthony? He gave his password out online.
Yeah,
yes,
I think
I have my Facebook password.
They broke into all of his stuff because he had the same password for everything.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Why? What were you going to say about me with Facebook?
But because everybody, your Facebook is so busy, but you're not posting. It's just other people, comics with their flyers. I'm appearing with Richie Byrne here. There's constant activity, but it's not from you.
The way I see it is, if someone posts it, it's up there.
Well, right.
I love when a booker goes, could you post this? I'm like, well, if you post it and put in my name, it's going to come up. So what do you need me for?
Yeah.
Right? If you put in my name.
Richie, that's a great way to stay proactive on your career.
Exactly.
Mark.
Hey, if you did it, why the hell should I?
How long have you known me? When was the last time I was proactive in my career?
I know, Richie, but you and I were just talking about wanting to do the show. And so I'm thinking maybe there'll be a tiny fire under your ass.
There is one difference between you and everybody else.
Go to your computer and go, where's my bio? Let me copy and paste it onto my email.
All right.
Oh, wait, you know what? I have 4 new things happen since this bio. Let me update it.
This from the guy who calls me and goes, hey, I got a great gig in Pennsylvania. It's 8-hour drive, blah, blah, blah. It's on a Tuesday, but how much? Well, I don't know yet. And I go, okay, I'm in.
Right, that's what we do.
Because I love Mark Riccadonna.
Absolutely. Who doesn't?
November 2nd. It's not an 8-hour drive.
Yeah, I know. Where is that? I just have Pennsylvania in my book, I think.
It's Hatfield, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It's 20 minutes for me, but
I'm-
it'll
I'm-
probably be 8 hours
What-
for you.
Did you just invite him to stay over? Is that
Oh,
what?
no, I'm going home. Oh, did we? I've no, yeah, that's
It's
just
a
what I
7
need.
o'clock show.
A fucking dog will eat my
Richie's probably
shoes.
gonna make in the ballpark between $500 and $1,000. He'll make some.
Oh, really?
on that.
All right.
I didn't know that.
Well, there you go.
Oh, maybe I will stay over.
So say thank you, Mark.
Shut up.
I have an agent who's dying to book Richie and I together out on the road. He can't send me a bio.
Can I?
Can't
You know what?
send me a
I
bio.
didn't know this was going to be, hey, come on and let's give Richie a hard friggin' time.
Richie, this is actually your intervention.
I,
We're cool with you drinking.
Yeah.
You can drink all you want.
oh, I might start right now.
But your comedy intervention.
Well, I do have a question. Not that anybody and all three of your audience members care, Tony, but
We're
hang
up
on.
to 7, just so you know.
Are we doing that reading on the 8th?
Yes.
That's happening.
Yes.
Of
No,
Vinny's
tune up.
play. November 8th.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And okay.
And we'll be reading the play with a bunch of college kids
Okay.
and then talking to them after and getting paid to do it.
Okay. And it's just the 8th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the 8th.
Because I got to.
That sounds cool.
It's going
And
to be
you
very
got a
cool.
hotel?
It's Vinny Naughty-Yellow's play. Yeah,
Bounding horses.
Yeah, and but we're just doing the reading one, the last one, or are we doing the whole all 4? No, we're doing all 4,
We're
right?
going to do the whole thing.
Okay, good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll be me and you, and we'll be the pros, and then we'll have a bunch of college kids that will be reading with us.
All right, great.
And
I'm
then have a little talk back after.
because I'm doing the reading, the last one, in my acting class, and we've been rehearsing it and stuff. And I'm really and Jeannie's playing my wife. Jeannie Schwab's playing my wife. Yeah,
God, she's so good.
yeah. So I'm really looking. We've been having a lot of fun rehearsing and everything. So it's kind of cool to be. It's weird because I've done Vinny's play like 3 times now, but always as readings. So to have to act now, I'm like learning and I'm like, oh, I know a lot more of this than I thought. You know, it's such a great play. It really
You
is.
should be off book by how many times we've done it.
Yeah, I know exactly. So
The acting classes, really, I saw a spark in you change.
yeah, I know. I love these kids, man. You know what they do? I'm really blown away by because I don't know if I should tell this other story, but I recently worked with a few young people who I didn't particularly like the attitude. I just was like a little thrown by it and was told, well, that's how kids are today. And I'm like, I don't think so. I was told, no, see, you're not around. And I'm like, well, I'm around a lot of comics who are 20 something.
Sure.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, so going into this class, which I started in July, and walking in and going, oh shit, they're all in their 20s. Like it didn't dawn. I haven't taken an acting class in 20 years, you know,
Wow.
and it dawned on me that, oh my God, I'm the old guy.
Yep.
And I knew some of these kids because I keep saying kids, but because we do a reading once a month on Mondays in the city that Mark with Domani Productions, and it's great. And a lot of these kids sit on the readings, and so they were all coming up to me and they were like, "Oh, we're so happy to have you in the class. It's so great to have you here." But what they do is every week they get up and they go, "Okay, who has a win?" And if you've had anything happen in the last week that's like big to you, or you tell it. And like a girl got up last week and she's like, I just signed with an agent. And all of these kids will just, oh my God. And I'm in the back going, fuck her. This is bullshit.
I know that agent. He's a prick.
Yeah, I've been in this business 35 years. I can't get that guy on the. No, but you know what? I love that they're all positive with each other. There's no animosity. And they're such good actors. I think that might be part of it, is their confidence as actors.
Sure.
Whatever it is, it's just been a great class, and I'm really thrilled to be in it.
It's awesome. When I was, the realization of age is like, it's so interesting because I was in the Theater 68, which is the theater company I was in, and everybody's young. And there was like two guys that were like older than me, you know, that like they had like the very like silver hair, and they're like older and mature, and you know they're playing very mature, stoic roles. And I'm sitting there like I think I'm still 21, you know, like
Right.
I'm sitting in the corner with my leaning against the thing. And then when it was like time to start doing scenes and people would ask me to do scenes, I'm like, yeah, but who's going to play the old guy in this? Like, who's going to play the old guy in this scene? And they're like, well, we thought you could play the principal. And I'm like, principal? I'm the... Oh shit! Yeah, I'm the age of a principal.
Yeah, you have to get up and talk about yourself to the whole, and I was like, well, you know, I've been a comic, but now I'm getting back into acting, and I looking forward to playing all of your grandfathers at some point in the next few months.
Well, the other thing too, when they're young, is you start talking about like they want to know about your life, and then when they find out you're a comic or you know that you've done stuff, you start talking about your career, and then they start making you feel really good because they're like, "Wow, you've done so much."
That's again,
you've done so many things, and then you realize like, "Oh, that's because I've been doing comedy as long as you've been alive."
Yeah,
Right.
Like, it's not that I've done so much; it's I'm fucking old.
I've had a lot of time to put a little bit in. Yeah, but it's because this other thing that I was working on I got none of that from these kids. And it was just like, and at first I thought, because you're used to that. It's when I had a friend once who told me, and it was a great line. It was a comic. I can't remember who, but because it's a long time ago, but he said something about going to high school reunion or something. I said, I can't go to my high school reunion, you know. And he goes, oh, no. Entertainment trumps all. If you walk in a room and say you're a comic,
Absolutely right. Yeah.
people are going to be like, what?
Yep.
You know, and now I feel like that's gone away a little bit because everyone thinks they're a comic now because they've done, you know, Andy Engel's show on a Monday night at Caroline's kind of thing. But, which is not a knock on Andy. I'm just saying that doesn't make you a comic. But and everybody's got a cousin and a brother who's done it. And they think, but that's the civilians. Anyone in the business, anyone who's really in the business who know, you know, I've been a comic for 35 years. You should be like, wow, that's really cool, man. You know, or whatever. I've been on Broadway, whatever you've done. And I thought maybe this generation didn't really appreciate that. But having worked now with these kids, you realize, no, okay, we're okay.
Well,
Everything's
I think a lot of these kids, too, probably haven't heard of half the stuff you've done. Because you're so old.
Did you ever hear?
I knew where you were going, Tony.
Do you know the Mike Somerville story?
I hate when Tony tries to be funny.
Do you know the Mike Somerville story?
No, and I'll let you tell, but I just want the audience to know that I don't mean this like, oh, I've done so much in my career. I meant it more like I was very worried about this generation.
You mentioned,
and I hope I'm not sounding like.
And I'm not talking about you, but I think more for guys like me that we talk about things we've done and people we've worked with, but they don't. But a lot of people don't realize that we have maybe 5 stories or 5 people we've worked with in a 30-year span.
Yeah.
So there's like 10 years in between where nothing happened.
Well, Tony, your only stories are that you worked with me and Riccadonna.
Right.
So
that's what I'm saying. Guys like me. I said that right off the bat.
What's the Somerville story?
And then they say, Richie, who?
Somerville was working the road, and this young comic goes, well, what do you want me to say about you when I bring you up? And he goes, tell him I did Letterman twice. And the kid goes, is that a podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
That blows me away.
Being said, another thing that I realize is the thing I'm most proud of, like, you know, talking about like doing things or whatever, thing I'm most proud of is that I've been doing this for a living. Like, I think that's like the number one goal. It's like
that's the thing we're most shocked by.
Miracles do happen.
Well, even last week, Mark, when we read Bartlett's play, and not you, but I was laughing because Bartlett wrote a play, and we did a reading of it in the city, and he wanted certain people in the cast, and me included, and I'm going, I don't think he realizes we're all like 20 years too old for these roles. I mean, Mark at least was the right age for the role because he's only 40.
I was
Right.
playing the old.
But I'm looking at
in the cast. My character was one of the older guys in the cast,
yeah,
or in the script. But in the cast, I was not one.
he
of
was
the
the
older
baby
guys.
in the cast. Yeah, but it was just so funny that like. I'm like, I don't really think Rob realized, and it's normal. It happens.
Right.
Richie Minervini, about I don't know, 10 years ago, I stopped somewhere and he goes, I'm going to bring up this guy's one of the hottest young comics working. I'm like, I'm 53. What is he talking about? But your perception is Richie Minervini met me when I was 27.
Right. That's what I was saying. Bartlett's probably doing the
Yeah.
same thing, right? Wow.
Well, whenever you meet somebody, that's kind of how you see them the rest of their lives.
Right.
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 Like,
Exactly.
dude, I used to be the young guy, the kid.
Yeah.
You know, like the guys from Tough Crowd would come in and they would be working on their stuff from Tough Crowd, and they'd see me and they're like, "Oh, the kid's here. You're working the door. How's things going?" I was the new guy. Like, I was
Right.
excited to get the shitty spots on the shows. You know, and then now I go to the clubs and in my head I'm still the young guy. I'm still the kid. And then it's like,
Tony just hit me.
Well, you messing with my stuff. What are you doing over here?
I want to see if I can take it off so I can.
right, Richie. You're like the comic who sits on the stool. You can't stand for 15 minutes and just tell your joke.
No.
No wonder you're bringing in somebody, a third person to your podcast. He's going to sleep through the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for her to start, man. Joey Vega once did. I saw Joey Vega years ago. He pulled up the stool and he goes, "I'm going to sit." He goes, "I've been in this business long enough. I deserve to sit." And I was like, "That's awesome. That's awesome." When you're at the point in stand-up comedy where you're like, "It's enough now." Yeah,
I used to always laugh because you'd get the comics, and they all did it because of Greg Giraldo. But they would get the mic, they'd take it out of the stand, then they'd move the mic stand here and then lean on it. Like, "Oh, I'm so exhausted."
No.
And it's like, dude, you're an open micer. You got 5 minutes. Just do your 5 minutes. I gotta lean on the mic stand. I'm so exhausted. What do I want to talk to you guys about? You got 5 minutes? You better have that shit down.
Or the young comic who brings up notes. I'm like, notes? You can't remember?
Yep.
You're doing 5 minutes. You can't remember 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of which, speaking of 5 minutes, you're going to be performing with Hershey and the Keegs on December 1st at the Brokerage.
I really didn't want to bring this up.
Baby.
So
Well,
embarrassing.
I'm going to make it worse for you.
Yeah.
I'm doing 5 minutes at that one.
I'm not going to be there.
Richie
Definitely not gonna
is
be
already canceling.
Yeah.
Richie has checked out.
You know what happened to me?
How's Pat doing?
Pat O'Rourke?
Yeah.
He's doing all right. He grew up with Brian Kilmeade from Fox and Friends.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I told you this story. So, Kilmeade went on the road. He's doing, theaters and stuff. So about 5 years ago, maybe Pat hasn't really been doing comedy then. And even when he was doing it, he wasn't doing it that much,
Right.
And he calls me and he says, "Hey," he really wasn't in comedy at the time. And he says, "Hey, Brian Kilmeade called me. He's going on the road and he wants a comic to open the shows." And I'm like, "Oh, yes, this is gonna be great." You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
Kilmeade's gonna, that's huge arenas, and he wants me to, because he knows me through Pat, and he goes, "So I was wondering if you and Keegan could sit down and write some jokes for me." I'm like, "What?"
Wait, what about me?
And here's the funny thing: he's doing the tour, and he gets first class, Kilmeade treats him like he's got the suite in every hotel. He's
nice.
and I'm not gonna say, but he's making Kilmeade's paying him well. And me and Keegan just kill him all the time. Me and Keegan are always like, "The fuck is he doing this bullshit? This is bullshit. This is just bullshit." And the guy hasn't done comedy. Wasn't even that good when he was doing it. Suddenly he's making more money than friggin' Andrew Dice Clay at this point, this fucking guy. And he meets with us for dinner once in a while to write, and And I just sit there and I eat dinner and I never give him a joke ever. He pays for dinner and drinks and everything. And Keegan's over there going, because they want kind of political stuff. And
right.
Because Kilmeade's, Fox. And Keegan's giving him, and he's like, and I'm going, yeah, that's funny. I think you should work that. That's it. That's all I do.
Richie's trying to get through every course.
I'm like, get the hell out of here. So, but Pat's been doing that for a while, and he's, Mark, his kids are now in college, so he, what I mean? I can't believe we're talking about Pat O'Rourke, but I can't believe we've digressed to Pat O'Rourke. But he's hit that age where, I guess he's figuring I might as well do it again, but I'm not excited about it. I'll tell you that much. So it's me and Keegan and Hirsch, right?
Brandon Lacaruba. I don't know if you know Brandon.
I don't.
Young, funny guy who's local.
This show just keeps adding more and more fucking people.
No, he's good. It's
he's good. 1, 2, Tony said that like Tony sucks. No, he's good.
Well, yeah, I'm going to disappoint. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of us all together.
Okay.
And I'm only doing 5. I'll in and out.
Keegan told me that. Keegan goes, "Hey man, you should have heard how much Hershey wanted to pay you." That's so weird. I'm not going to say how much, but it was incredibly insulting. And
that's fantastic.
Keegan goes, "What are you out of your fucking mind?" No, Richie's good with that, right?
Oh my God. Hershey he's quite the character, man. He cracks me up.
Was it drink tickets?
I'm like,
right.
I'm going to steal that sign just to fuck him up.
Man, did he flip out over that sign?
Oh my God. Did he flip out over that sign.
What sign?
Well, outside here.
On the fence.
Club. Yeah, on the fence right next, because this deli next door is a drive-through. So there's a bunch of banners up for some of the different shows here. And Keegan, it's Mike Keegan and Mark Hirschman. So it's the Hershey and the Keegs. It's on every Tuesday night. In fact, this week, just so everybody knows, it's on tonight instead of tomorrow night. But yeah, they have a banner, and it's one day we came in and it was gone. It was just gone. All the other banners, there was a bad storm that weekend, and my banner was kind of hanging, but of course Keegan didn't see that. I fixed it, and so when Keegan came around, he's like, "Oh, your banner's fine." I was like, "Because I fucking fixed it, you son of a bitch." But so, all the other banners were just kind of hanging, and like maybe by one string or something, but their banner was completely gone. I personally think it just blew away and maybe, I don't know, ripped up or something. I don't know, but they're convinced that somebody stole it. There's a high school right behind us here, where at the time, one of Hirsch's kids was going there. So they think, Mark was thinking maybe one of his daughter's friends stole it because they know him.
Mark, this was like the story of Long Island.
Oh yeah, he was calling up
in some kid's basement.
It's funny because this was during the whole Gilgo Beach thing, and the Hirschman story was bigger than that. It was all anyone could talk about.
Actually wrapped in the banner. Do you remember Find the Belts, Haley Zale?
No.
The two heavyweight belts were missing, and they had this whole thing where they were trying to find the heavyweight belts. Somebody stole them.
Yeah,
apparently somebody took the gold off the belts and tried melting it.
Yes,
like this whole thing. It was like embarrassing. That's the next where are the belts.
But at one point, I come in to do Tony's show, and this is right. I don't even know about the side. I could give a shit about the side. And so he says, "Oh, look, people are calling it. Richie Byrne's here. Oh, the people are calling in to talk to Richie Byrne. Hirschman, let's put him on." He comes on, he goes, "You know what, man? I'm really pissed off about this side." He didn't give a shit that I was there. He could care less. He just
I even said, "Say hi to Richie Byrne," and it was like I didn't even talk. He just kept on going.
And I started making jokes, and he was going, "It's not funny. It's not funny. It's really nothing." Then I found out that he goes, I had to pay for that sign, and I'm like, how much? He goes, like $40. He paid like $40 for the sign.
I think it was 80 to be exact, which is still nothing.
Which is about $30 more than he wants to pay me for December 1st.
Jesus, Richie Byrne. Jesus.
I had a scare this weekend, dude. This is so funny, man. This is what I hate about booking my own schedule. So Friday, I was booked to work for Gene Trifolo, Crazy Gene, and I got in my book, Yorktown Heights. I've had it in my calendar for a while. So I don't hear from him. So last Monday I call him, I send him a text. I go, we're good for Friday, right? He calls me, he goes, Richie, I don't have anything Friday.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, oh. And he goes, I go, Yorktown Heights. He goes, no, don't you remember 2 months ago? I canceled it. You did a gig for me. I gave you extra money because I felt bad. And I go, yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, I just never took it out of my calendar. So I'm like, damn it, man. I'm not working Friday. I had nothing for Saturday. So I go, let me send out my avails. Which is, I don't send out my avails, and I don't send out bios, apparently. So
this story I can confirm is 100% true.
So I write Andrea here at Governor's, and I said, hey, I just had a fallout for the weekend. If you have anything, she immediately writes me back. I got Friday night at McGuire's.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, now I'm feeling good about myself, right? I wake up. Now, next Saturday, I'm doing a gig in, I don't know, Wappingers Falls for this booker. And Ed Slowshower, I don't know if you know Ed. And he...
yeah,
Ed?
I know he is, yeah.
Ed Slowshower?
I think that's how he says his last name. Something like that. Wow. So, I wake up Friday morning, and as a text from Ed saying, hey, man, have a great show tonight. He said, I'll see you next Saturday at the Wappingers Falls show. And above it is a flyer with me on it. So I'm like, oh, my God. I must have booked something with him, and he's not going to be there, so he's saying he'll pay me next week.
Right.
And I just look at the flyer quick. I go, oh, shit, I double booked. Oh, my God. I get out of bed. I write Andrea. Hey, first I call Ed. He doesn't answer. I write him, dude, am I working for you tonight? He doesn't answer. So I write Andrea because it's 9:30 in the morning. I don't want to wait. Andrea, I can't believe this happened, blah, blah, blah. I think I double booked. I'll help you find somebody, blah, blah, blah. And in my head, I'm like, it's so easy for them to, how.
Sure.
So I wasn't, but I just felt terrible. So I write her right away. As I finish and hit send, he calls me. I go, dude, man, I'm sorry. I didn't. He goes, no, it's next week. And I look, the flyer is for next week. I didn't. And he goes,
I'll call you back. I got to write Ange again.
He goes, no, I saw online you working at McGuire's. I'm like, who writes that? At least say, have a great show at McGuire's. All you wrote was, have a great show tonight. I work every weekend. What the hell kind of a...
Or you just read the flyer that he sent.
No, he's wrong. He's wrong, Tony. I wasn't even out of bed. Don't you? Jeez, you know what? So, but now I get to McGuire's. And...
well, wait a minute. So you had to text Ange again.
I write Ange back. I go, never mind. Everything's good. And about 2 hours later, she writes, okay. Like this didn't affect Angie's life at all. I almost had a heart attack, but Andrea was fine, everybody. So now I get to McGuire's, and there's a comic on the show. And this woman's at the bar, and she goes, Richie, blah blah blah. I'm Vinny's wife, and I go, oh yeah, hi, how are you? She goes, we're very excited. You're doing the firehouse near my house in 2 weeks, and I go, what? She goes, You're doing the firehouse. It's my friends set it up, and it's you and Chris Monty and Eric Haft. And I go,
oh, that's a good show.
And I go, wow, it's a really good show. And I go, when? And she goes, November 18th. And I look at my calendar, and I'm in Connecticut for Tom and Omnipop on November 18th. And I'm like,
jeez.
I don't know anything about that, and I'm freaking. And she goes, I can get the flyer. And I go, I got to call Eric right now, because I'm thinking Eric must have booked this.
Right.
I go, I got to call Eric right now. He's got to find somebody else. I can't. And she bangs it up, and she goes, yes, see, right here. Chris Monty, Eric Haft, and Peter Bales. She goes, oh, it's not you.
Well, Richie, the other day I texted you and I said I typed the wrong date, and you freaked out.
I freaked out. Yeah, but I go, Peter Bales.
I go November 4th. I'll see you November 4th.
Yeah,
confirming we're good. And he goes, I'm booked the 4th.
And that's when I'm working for Ed Slowshower, November 4th. That's ironic. But I
was like, oh no, the 2nd. I'm sorry.
I called you. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I go, what do you mean? She goes, Peter Bales. I go, Peter Bales. And she goes, you know what it is? He's got the B at the end of his last name, B, your last name. I go, I almost had a heart attack.
We're talking about aging and how we're the old. I mean, you're getting confused for Peter Bales.
It's scary.
That means you're getting really old.
I love you, Peter, but Jesus. I mean, Peter's what, 92 now?
At least.
So
wow.
I was like, people were trying to give me a heart attack on Friday, Mark. Thank you.
You poor bastard. You poor bastard. There's part of me that feels really bad, but then I remembered about this bio I've been waiting for. The headshot. Still waiting on the headshot.
I sent you the headshot. I sent a headshot. Right away. I sent a headshot. It's in that email. The one with what's her name? The other.
And the clips. And the clip.
And I wrote you and said, dude, I looked. You have all my clips because you showed me. You sent me clips of me and you.
I'm glad we're going to use your promo clip from 1999.
I don't.
You haven't filmed a set.
No,
since.
No, the clips I saw that you had were from my special, and from Access, Gotham, which ironically now I realize is over 8 years ago. I can't believe that.
That's his point. He wants new, fresh stuff.
I don't have new, fresh stuff.
Get some fresh, new stuff.
I mean, I have new comedy stuff. But
exactly.
I don't have any reels.
Send your special to Don Sill.
Yeah, why? Can he make me money off that waste of a fucking
promo together?
Okay.
Don's a professional editor. That's what he does for a living.
I hope I can find it. I don't know where it is.
Was this?
I don't know where it is.
I was gonna. This wasn't the first time we met Don. You came to the movie,
No.
right? So yeah, you know Don.
Don and I worked together on a film. If I want to sound like George Clooney, Don and I were
like George Clooney. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you worked on Mark's film, right?
Yeah. Well, Frank Vignola would kill you.
Oh, that's right, Frank Vignola. I'm confused because we were all there for that night at the comic show.
I mean, Frank Vignola wrote it and he produced it. So
right.
I directed.
Oh, all right. So Mark was involved. All right. So I wasn't far off. I know, but Frank Vignola. I don't want to piss him off.
Oh, he's always pissed off.
I know. That's why I actually said that.
I did a sports podcast with Frank Vignola during the.
I'm going to get a cup of coffee while you tell this.
During. During the pandemic, and every week, he would get mad in the middle of it and like cut himself out of it.
Oh, really?
Or he fell. The first week he fell out. Something happened and they glitched and they lost him.
Oh, okay.
But me and this other guy, and we kept going, and he got back in, and he got at the end of it. He's like, you know what? Forget. No, we're not airing this one. No, we're not No, I can't. The next week he got mad at something. He walked off. He goes, "You know what? We're not airing this." I go, "I can't keep showing up here and doing a show that never airs."
Yep. It'll make
it was about football, right?
It was about sports in general.
Dallas.
Yeah. He just kept getting angry.
They would get in like legit ESPN arguments. And it was like, and I was never able to watch live because like it was at a time where I was, whatever, I was with the kids or doing whatever. But I'm like, I want to go back and watch this because you guys
want to see these guys fight.
Arguing.
It didn't last long because I got tired of it always getting canceled.
That's really funny.
Which one of you were Skip Bayless and which one of you were?
I was not Skip Bayless.
Do you guys know Criticos?
No.
Greg Criticos? No. Because he's put me in one of his films. I'm doing it this week, but I don't know, he scares me. So I I got to be at a pizza place in Brooklyn at 3 a.m. on Thursday morning.
And it's a film, or
yeah, it's a film.
Did you see the last scene in Fame, in the movie Fame, when
I was like 5 when that came out?
She
was she naked?
Shows up at a movie audition and
Irene Cara?
Yeah, and then finds out that she's got to take her clothes off.
Oh.
They shoot her taking her clothes off, and she's crying as they're doing it. And
well, now you know why I asked you to come in today.
Yeah. This is what I see here on Wednesday in a pizza.
So, Richie?
Wants a stump job.
No, actually, I did the same thing, but they made me put my clothes back on.
At the calendar shoot.
You were a little too excited to take it off.
They're like, "Sir, why'd you walk in naked?"
This was supposed to be shaming video.
We're doing Sound of Music here. I don't know why. I don't know why you're naked.
We're doing Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood on Ice. Why are you naked? Oh, it's cold.
Hey, let's. We got a few minutes left. Let's do quickly. You're both music guys, and I know Richie especially, big Beatle fan. Are you excited about the new song, or you don't care?
No.
Really?
I don't know why, and it's not. How can I put this? I just haven't paid attention at all. I just think.
Wow, what kind of?
I'll listen to it. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. The whole thing's weird. It's like.
What do you mean? Weird. It's just an old song that wasn't finished, so they finished it.
Not really, though. I mean,
what do you mean?
Wasn't it like? Maybe there was a reason it wasn't finished, because you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I have found on YouTube that is kind of interesting to me? There's these guys, they found the tracks, they were given the tracks, I forget what they're called, from the Get Back sessions.
Right.
The music.
Yeah.
And they take little snippets of music that like Paul or John will be working on that they never did anything with. And then they go back in and they take like 3 different snippets from 3 different, put them together and record it and go, this is what this could have been.
Oh,
and
yeah, I think I've seen that.
It's kind of cool. At first I thought I was going to hate it, but I loved it. I thought, wow, that's interesting. And
right.
Sometimes it really does sound like, wow, yeah, that could have been a Beatles hit. That could have been a Beatles song. I don't know. I don't know why I don't care. I just don't care.
That song turned out to be Champagne Supernova.
Yeah, right.
No, they don't care. What?
That's an Oasis. And Oasis was a band in the 90s.
Yes, thank you.
That did a lot of songs that sound like the Beatles.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just, why? Are you very excited about it?
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Have you heard it yet?
Like you said, the song is,
Yeah, like...
I mean, it's been floating around in the bootleg circuit for years, but...
I never liked Free as a Bird that much.
No, I like that one. I liked it. Real Love, I thought was better.
Real Love was better. But even Real Love, to me, sounded like it should have been on Lennon's last album.
Yes.
It had that same feel that Lennon's last album, Double Fantasy. You know?
But I'm just excited. Anything that's Beatles, I'm just
excited.
No,
I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why. I just haven't... Like, my friends said, hey, that Beatles thing... And I know Paul just did... Ringo just put out an album with Paul on it or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. But yet, if Paul came back, I'd go see him in a heartbeat.
Oh, of course. Mark, are you a Beatle fan? I know you're more of a... You're like another generation. You're a big hair metal guy, aren't you?
I love hair metal. I like oldies. I grew up, my dad, I was always listening to oldies around, and so like, you play any oldies from doo-wop to 1989, and I probably know the lyrics to the songs.
Yeah, sure.
Because my dad just was always playing, music. There was always music. So like
Were there any home like here? Yeah, I grew up in Ixford, one town over. That's where Billy Joel is from. We feel like we own him. Youngstown, Ohio. Are there any homegrown guys that we know or from your area?
do you guys know a Glass Harp?
Rings a bell. I couldn't. They were like an '80s one-hit wonder.
Yeah, well, they had a guy who was a really awesome guitar player. But Youngstown, Steubenville's like 20 minutes from Youngstown. That's Dean Martin.
You can't get better than Dean Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really that close? I didn't know that.
Steubenville's like just south of Youngstown.
Jimmy the Greek and Dean Martin grew up together.
Well, and you got Warren, Ohio, which is right next door, which is the very first McDonald's. So that counts.
I was born in Warren, Ohio.
Very nice. There's a hospital there?
He was conceived in the bathroom at that McDonald's.
It's a pretty amazing sight.
They have pizza at that McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they did. I don't know if they still do. It's been a while, but I used to be there. I spent a lot of time in Warren, Ohio.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. I thought we had this conversation. Yeah, my first wife had family in Warren. I was there quite often. Back in late '80s, early '90s, I was in Warren, Ohio regularly.
I'm amazed you've had more than
That's
one wife.
awesome.
I've had too many.
What's his name?
Richie Byrne.
Scheidner was telling us a great story. He goes, back in like the late 70s, if you did comedy, you worked in the Catskills, Vegas, New York and Los Angeles, and Warren, Ohio.
What was there?
A McDonald's.
The mob.
Really?
The mob?
The mob used to do these shows. He goes, there would be billboards all over. Rich Scheidner, coming to town, Warren, Ohio. And he named people who owned the club, and they're actually the children of kids I went to high school with.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, it'd be completely dead, and then all of a sudden at 4 a.m, they're like, all right, come down. You go in the basement of this restaurant and be packed with people from Detroit, Chicago, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and New York, all wearing suits and mobsters, and they would do a comedy show for all these mobsters that were in town to, collect their money and exchange goods.
That's
but
awesome.
Warren, Ohio, also Warren, Ohio. Dave Grohl grew up in Warren.
That's right. I forgot about that.
If you're a fan of the Foo Fighters,
Mm-hmm. They were just on Silent Live this weekend.
Collins is from.
Oh, is he?
I want to talk about that.
You want to talk about Bootsy?
No. I have an issue with Saturday Night Live with this. I have an issue. They come under a different contract, so they're allowed to do shows when we're all on strike. I find this.
It seems like everybody's got a different contract.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's been
bullshit.
weird. Yep,
I don't
agree.
like it at all. And while we're on that the talk shows too. I don't know. I just think you should be like, hey, we're not coming back till everybody can come back.
Right, just
how
to
do
show
you
a little
feel,
support.
Mark?
Dude, it has become so apparent that it's like bullshit, because right when the strike first started, like all of a sudden you'd read in the trades that like Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt's making a new film. And it's like, how are they making a new film? And they're like, oh, because it's not with the streaming companies, and that's who the beef's with.
Yeah.
That's like, because they can independently produce it.
Yeah.
And then sell it to the streaming things once the strike's over.
Yeah.
So it's all a bunch of bullshit.
It is.
And it just hurts. It hurts the union in the end because people are going to be sour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's the middle class people, the middle class actors who, get little things here and there that are going to suffer from it.
Yep. I agree 100%.
So real quick, though, to finish so you have Dave Grohl, Dean Martin, Marilyn Manson, and Nine Inch Nails. Trent Reznor are all from that area.
And Mark Riccadonna.
Yeah, and Mark Riccadonna.
Who's got a special premiering this Wednesday.
Check it out. Domestic Nomad. It's out. Use promo code Mark Riccadonna so I can get some credit.
Very
and
nice.
You can save some money.
Cool.
Bar comedy.
That's this Wednesday.
That's great, Mark.
Don't forget Richie, December 1st at the brokerage. You got anything that you want to push before that? I would say check his social media, but
Richie Byrne's bio up to date. Please email it to me. And Mark at Mark Riccadonna.
You know what's weird? I guarantee you, if this actually had people watching,
people would send it.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's people who go, yeah, I went through this too. Here, Mark, here it is. This is it. This guy's an asshole. Every comedy club owner in America would be like, yeah, I know. I feel your pain,
So
Mark.
there's two things that I want to defend my not just grabbing it off of his website. Is one, the artists always bitch that, oh, dude, why would you put that up there? That's like 20 years old.
Yeah, but he's not going to read it. So.
That's a good point.
Well, there is that.
My act is 20 years old.
The other thing is the principle of it. It's the principle of it. You're good enough to come and do the gig. You're good enough to email me the bio.
Oh, that sounded very mob-like.
Yeah, I know.
You're good enough to send the bio. Oh.
The bio. You did the bio. Richie doesn't have his sweatsuit on anymore. He can't.
I got warm in here.
He started sweating.
The AC's on. Yeah, it's on.
All right, well, I'm fine now.
Hey, this sweatsuit's making me sweat. I can't. This is uncomfortable.
That's what a sweatsuit does. It makes you sweat. All right, it is time for us to sign on out of here.
Bad comedy makes me sweat. I've been on with you two for an hour.
You've been sweating since you came in.
Yeah.
I like how he said sit with you two for an hour.
Yeah.
He showed up like 20 minutes ago. Domestic Nomad.
You know what? You take it off how much money you were going to pay me. Thanks, Hirsch.
I gave you a water.
We'll deduct that from the end product.
Yeah, check out Domestic Nomad on Dry Bar. Don't forget the promo code is your name, Mark Riccadonna.
Mark Riccadonna.
Very good.
Yep.
All right, well, we don't know where else he's going to be, but
December 1st, 10 o'clock at the brokerage. Go see Paddle Rock. He's tremendous.
It's actually 10:30, but
no.
Yeah, showtime 10:30.
This show is just getting later and later. And it's getting later, and they're adding more comics. What?
Be at the midnight show.
Jesus.
First, Richie Byrne.
And it's a very diverse. It's a very diverse crew of comics we have on the show.
I can tell you.
A bunch of fat white guys and Tony Walker.
You got a guy with a goatee. You got a guy with.
You got a guy who's white. You got another guy who's pale. Another guy who's.
And Brandon is the only one younger than 30. So there you go.
My act isn't even younger than 30. Yeah, November 18th, I'll be with Chris Monty and Eric Haft, apparently. No,
all right, there you go. Thank you, guys. Always a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Good to see you. And looking.
You would never know that because he hasn't been around us for a month. He disappeared. It's always great to be with you guys, but I'm leaving.
I can't help my jury duty for 2 weeks. What am I going to do?
I got jury duty. I got to go see where the Beatles recorded Abbey Road. I
was only in England for a day. I went there for a day. I got there I landed at 6:30 Thursday morning.
Yeah, but you took a canoe to and from. It took a month and a half each way.
Not that jury duty screwed me up, man.
Where were you going?
A close friend of mine is a musician there. His name is Elio Pace. The way I always tell it, there's a talk show host. He had this guy, Terry Wogan was his name. He's now dead, but he was very big in England. He had a bunch of different talk shows. But the last show he had, Elio was the band leader, like Paul Schaefer to David Letterman. And Letterman is not a podcast. So he was the band leader. So that was like how he kind of got his name out a little bit. But it was big enough of a name that he sells out maybe 2, 3, 4, 5,000 seat theaters. And he plays all over Europe. He does a Billy Joel thing. But he's one of my closest friends. So I was like, I wanted to get out there and see one of his shows. So I got there. Yeah, Thursday morning I landed, saw the show Thursday night. By noon Friday, I was on the plane coming home.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool. And it was worth every second of it. Had a great time. But, yeah, that's what I did. All right.
Well, boy, we really went out on a bang there, didn't we?
Well,
always leave them wanting more.
I hate these guys so much. Thanks for tuning in.
The Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling.
That's right. Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling is coming. It's coming back.
Coming back.
They even got a new, another co-host.
Yeah.
To pretty it up a little bit.
Well, no, that's me.
Well, no, to toughen it up. She's way tougher than Richie and I.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's going to be sleeping. Yeah. So we'll just call it. We'll just call it the Ashley Show. So, all right, we're out of here.
Drinks, Jokes, and Ashley.
Well, actually, you've been talking about because you guys aren't drinking anymore. Mark was talking about how he's cutting back. You cut back. Nobody's drinking when you do the show.
Who said I'm cutting back?
You said you were
I
cutting back.
just don't drink at 12 at noon.
Well, there you go. So Ashley, Jokes, and Storytelling. All right.
I like that.
All right, Steve Square tonight at 6:30. Hershey and the Keeks tonight at 8:30. Special day and time for them. And
I hate those guys.
I'll be back here tomorrow. Sean Elliott, ladies and gentlemen, that's my big announcement for our show today. Sean Elliott will be here with me from now on every Tuesday. Looking forward to that.
The basketball player?
No, it's funny. A lot of people say that. No, he's a local comedian. He's been hanging around here. But it works for me because he's also disabled. He's in a wheelchair. So between the two of us.
Oh, I met him.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't I meet him here?
I don't know.
I thought I met him here.
But between me and him, we make one complete person. So, but it also helps because
that's how Mark and I feel. That's what Mark and I say.
But he's also
like Richie and I are like stations from Bill and Ted's. We run and belly flop into each other and turn into a giant station.
That would be awesome. We have to do that.
With our powers combined, we won't have a new joke in 40 years.
Wonder Twin powers activate. But just like you guys bringing in a female to enhance your show, I'm bringing in this guy because he's black. So now I get a little shriek.
All right, there you go.
There you go. So, yeah, that starts tomorrow, Sean Elliott. And then
I never met him. The guy I met wasn't black.
Oh, okay.
All right, go ahead. Let's get off. We've been saying goodbye for 20 minutes.
We're out of here. Thank you, guys. This was a lot of fun as always. Drinks, Toast, and
Goodbye.
Drinks, Toast, and Storytelling returning soon. All right, we're out of here. See ya.
Experience at a Knockem Dead Comedy Murder Mystery Show. Suspense, excitement, love, more love, violence. Well, not really. And is the #1 murder mystery troupe, entertaining thousands of people for over 20 years.
You have a great night or what?
Good. Their hilarious murder mystery shows are full of audience interaction from beginning to end that will keep you laughing all night long. Their shows are not to be missed. Knockem Dead Comedy's murder mystery themes include a mob show, a redneck wedding, a high school reunion, a family reunion with a luau theme, or your own custom show.
Johnny, you have a good time tonight or what? I had an awesome time. All right. She had a great time. KDC, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all right.